Blizzard just issued a massive warning for the beta. And that includes a bunch of issues that can happen to you while you're playing the game that can make you fail quests, several other issues that can dampen your experience. We also have to talk about the battle pass, as there's a ton of recourse around that. We also have a build talent calculator that I'll show off, and then we'll briefly go over something that's extra in the Ultimate Edition. What's up, world streamer? Back with another video, and today we're checking out all things Diablo 4. Okay, so let's first go over those server slam issues, just so you're prepared for the beta and you don't have any of these problems, or at least have a fluid, or at least a more fluid experience. I also want to note that they said that these issues will be addressed for long. Okay, so the first known issue is again for all platforms, and that is player progression can be blocked in the Lost Archives dungeon. If the player attempts to interact with the mechanical boxes prior to downing both the demonic vanguard enemies, players should make sure to down the demonic vanguard enemies first in the dungeon prior to interacting with these boxes. Otherwise, I'm assuming you're gonna have to either restart the dungeon, reset it, although they took away that button, so you'd probably have to just teleport out. Animus cures that are eliminated to dungeon traps do not drop animus, which will result in certain dungeons being blocked from progression. The affected dungeons are as follows: Hallowed Ossuary, again probably pronounced that wrong, Dead Man's Dredge, and Anarchist's Claim. So again, another reset there, but you're not going to be able to reset the dungeons, you're going to have to restart the whole thing. And if this isn't a quest, although I don't think there's any animus quests, regardless, that's quite annoying, and losing all that progress in a dungeon is not going to be fun. Players that change speech locale in the initial prologue of the game must wait for the entire package to finish downloading before they can proceed. So I'm assuming if you don't, there's probably going to be a massive error there, maybe a game crash, or maybe you won't even be able to switch that at all. So do be very, very wary of that, and if you want to change that setting, just wait it out. While using a controller, the sorceress's basic ability cannot destroy destructibles. This will only affect the player until they level up and earn their first ability. So you're right at the very beginning, you're not going to be able to destroy anything, because they give you a perk right at level 1, by the way. That's just a little tip for you. You get a perk so you can immediately take your basic attack. You don't have to use that. I think Sorcerer had this like little weird casting thing, and I don't remember what the other ones had. It didn't do as much damage as the basic attack though. Raven's ability on the Druid will cause passive Ravens to stop spawning if the player town portals back to town. So yeah, definitely an issue there, and it looks like Ravens is on a 15-second cooldown, so not the hugest ordeal. Although I'm sure you don't want to have to use that, as it's just kind of annoying and it going away and disappearing. It's like resummoning a minion. It's not very fun. Another issue on the Druid: Poison Creeper ability on the Druid will no longer attack after town portaling back to town. Another companion issue on the Druid here. It seems like there's going to be a lot of issues with people having to resummon these and have these to use these cooldowns. It doesn't look like the hugest issue, as they don't cost anything. Still annoying though. Now Druid has a lot of issues here. The damage portion of the Druid's Perfect Storm Keystone passive does not function properly. Perfect Storm is storm skills that you cast grant one spirit and deal 15% increased damage when damaging vulnerable, immobilized, or slowed enemies. Yeah, that's kind of rough there, because it's granting you resource and it's increasing your damage by 15%. That kind of hurts not having that passive, so we have to feel bad for Druids on this one. I'm sorry, Druids, you guys have another issue. Rabies ability on the Druid does not constantly trigger against larger enemies. So I'm not sure if that's probably one of the abilities you take. Maybe not take it for this beta and try it out. Again, so many issues with the Druid here, like just a ton. Last but not least, Druid is included here again, but it's more so a lighting issue. So Druid and Necromancer can look brighter than intended on the inventory screen while daylight in game. Sounds like this is just an issue from the last beta, as people complained about the brightness of the Necromancer minions, so maybe they were kind of dimming things down a little bit. Although it doesn't say Necromancer minions, and Druid was included as well. Maybe this is just a weird lighting bug. That could be it too. That does round it out for issues, and especially for Druid. If you guys have minions and stuff out and you don't know that they're attacking things and you're kind of like wondering what's going on, I mean, your damage is already getting nerfed there. Definitely watch out for this stuff and try to be wary of your minions if you're a Druid. Now, I won't go into the ton of the Battle Pass stuff, because everybody's been talking about all the Battle Pass. There's been a ton of recourse on the Battle Pass stuff. As far as streamers have been going through it, Carnage had his little thing, Asmongold reacted to it, had his little thing there. And yeah, I agree with both of those guys. Unfortunately, the cosmetics and the Battle Passes have taken over. It's unfortunate. I mean, it's kind of like you have to settle at this point for it. There's also been a ton of postings about it on the forums. And I also want to mention that they did say that the Battle Pass will not give you enough currency to purchase the next one. So unlike other Battle Passes, that's not going to be a thing. And I did mention in my last video, but I'll mention it here really quickly. If you have the accelerated Battle Pass, you'll be able to save that, so you don't have to use it on this one. You could save it for a different season. Again, even though I do wish there wasn't any cosmetics, especially in a $70 game, just stuff that you can earn in game. But it is what it is, and I'll take it over at pay to win any day. And I guess that's also probably part of the problem as well. Now, Ultimate Edition is also getting 2 emotes, which is additional to the battle pass and anything else. So they get an emote for season 1, and they get the Wings of the Creator emote, which there's some imagery here for that one. If you are into that sort of thing, there you go, little addition there. And we also do have a build calculator here that's been being updated daily since they've done so many changes over the last few days. I think that was over 100 changes, and I have that detailed down on my video down below. Probably won't do anything like that again where I have like this long drawn out segment of each perk listed. I literally go through every single perk, as I didn't see any other YouTuber do it, but I really didn't like the format of it. I think from now on I'll just go over highlights like I did with my other videos. But in any case, that's there if you want to check that out. But I will have this build calculator down below as well. And hopefully, I think I'll get this video out there before the game launches, so you'll be able to use that and kind of practice your builds if you want. Although with all the changes, you're probably going to want to practice everything. I am also curious, are you guys going to play hardcore or softcore? I'm still debating, but I think I'm just going to go hardcore right off the bat. I don't know if I'll do it for launch, but I'm going to do it for this beta. So let me know if you're going to do it for the beta or if you're going to do it for the launch or vice versa. Although I'll probably go softcore for the launch, but I am super interested in the hardcore for World of Warcraft Classic. So I do hope we get sometime around after Diablo's launch. And maybe I'll do a few updated videos on that as well. Now there is actually a really important dev statement here, as there is a ton of that discussion around the Battle Pass, as I said before, and around the pay-to-win stuff. But they did clarify here, or at least Adam Fletcher clarified on Twitter, saying we aren't selling power. That is a philosophy of the game and team. If anything comes up like an edge case where it would be possible, that would mean it isn't working as intended, and we would immediately resolve it. They said no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now that is a pretty written in stone statement, especially since it's on Twitter for everybody to see. It's not like a visual thing or anything in some sort of video tucked away in some sort of live stream. With this in writing, at least he's saying it. Again, yeah, it's just one person at a company, but if anything goes back on this, we can definitely hold them to it, or at least hold this as the precedent. And we know if at that point, eventually, if it gets anywhere near what New World is kind of doing, it's like slipping these little things in to get the little pay to win going, then we can start to have that recourse around that and at least bring it up. And also I want to mention that I might do another poll to see what classes are going to be brought up. I'm curious what you guys are playing too. Maybe put it in the comments and let me know. And let me know if you want me to make a build video even for the beta. I did for the last one and people seem to like it. In fact, those videos did incredibly well. I might do another Sorc and Necromancer build, and I'll have those videos up either tonight or tomorrow morning, at least for Sorcerer, and then the next day might be Necromancer. I'll try to get those videos out as quickly as I can with a lot of experimentation and things of that nature, so I might work on that today. I'm also curious what edition you guys are getting. If you guys are going to be playing early for the 4-day early access, I unfortunately think I'm going to shelve it out and just do the early access option, which is the deluxe edition at least. Kind of unfortunate to give into this practice, but it's like I don't want to be 4 days late. So let me know what you guys are doing with that as well. But in any case, that does about cover for today's video. And if you like, I'd like a like and subscribe, and until the next one, deuces.